In the next 90 seconds, I'm gone, tell you about a place where people live up to 10 years longer than we do in the US and up to 150 years. Longer than people who live in places like Japan or Italy, and I'm also going to tell you why. Now, you might think that if you were born in one of those other countries, then you would live longer. But it turns out that if you are an American and you move to one of these other places, you still get the benefit of living longer. So this isn't about genetics, this is about environment. I learned all about this from Dan Buettner, who's written a book called The Blue Zones. 99 Ways to Live Longer from the People Who've Lived the Longest. And he has identified 5 places around the world that have more centenarians than anywhere else in the world, which means they have more people living over the age of 100. And I'm going to share those with you now, so know. 1 is Okinawa, Japan. Now, Dan has spent a lot of time here, and he noticed that the women here, on average, live 30 years longer than American women. And the men live 14 years longer than American men. And he found that the secret to their longevity is that they follow what's called the 3-pillar wisdom. So this comes from a very old Japanese proverb that says that when you put 3 kinds of wisdom together, you will attain happiness and longevity. So the first pillar is the wisdom of living less. And this is about appreciating the simple things in life and not being consumed with your work or status or money. The second pillar is the wisdom of slow. So this is about taking your time to savor the flavors of food, the richness of relationships, the tranquility of nature, and never rushing through life. And the third pillar is the wisdom of the ikigai, which is kind of like your reason for being, your life's purpose. And it's that intersection of what you love doing, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for. So when you find that intersection, that sweet spot, that's your passion, and that gives you a reason to wake up in the morning. It gives you a sense of belonging and a sense of purpose. And so those 3 pillars of wisdom, the wisdom of living less, the wisdom of slow, and the wisdom of the Ikeiji, I have been followed by the people of Okinawa for generations, and it's one of the reasons why they live such long lives. The next blue zone is Sardinia, Italy. Here the men live 12 years longer than American men, and the women live 8 years longer than American women. And so what's the secret here? Well, Dan found that the secret is something called the Fortean diet. So this is a Mediterranean diet that is high in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, and healthy fats like olive oil. And it's low in red meat and processed foods. It's typically enjoyed with friends and family, and it's very much a communal experience. And so this diet provides the Sardinian people with the nutrients they need to live long and healthy lives. And it also gives them a sense of community and belonging, which is also important for longevity. Okay, the next blue zone is Loma Linda, California. Now, this is a community of Seventh-day Adventists who have a life expectancy that is 7 years longer than the average American. And so what's the secret here? Well, the secret is something called the 3 principles. So the first principle is the belief in the sanctity of life. And this means that they see every day as a gift from God, and they want to use it wisely. They also believe that the body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, and so they take very good care of their bodies because they believe that God lives in them. And the third principle is the belief in the second coming of Christ. And this gives them hope for the future, and it motivates them to live healthy lives because they believe that they will be rewarded in heaven the way they live their lives on earth. Okay, the fourth blue zone is the Ogliastra region of Sardinia. And this is a mountainous region where the men live 13 years longer than the average Italian man, and the women live 9 years longer than the average Italian woman. And so what's the secret here? Well, the secret is something called the Mediterranean lifestyle. And this includes the diet, which is high in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and legumes. But it's also low in red meat and processed foods. It also includes regular physical activity because they do a lot of gardening and other physically active pursuits. And it also includes strong social connections because they have a strong sense of community and they rely on each other for support. And the fifth blue zone is Ikaria, Greece. And this is an island where people live 10 years longer than Americans and 20 years longer than people who live in Athens. And so what's the secret here? Well, the secret is something called the 5 keys. So the first key is the traditional diet, which is similar to the other blue zones. It's high in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and legumes, and low in red meat and processed foods. The second key is regular physical activity, because they do a lot of gardening and other physically active pursuits. The third key is a strong sense of community and social connections. The fourth key is respect for elders, and this creates a culture of wisdom and intergenerational knowledge transfer. And the fifth key is the Greek concept of the philosophy of life, which emphasizes living in harmony with nature, living a virtuous life, and accepting whatever happens with serenity and gratitude. Okay, now let me summarize the secrets of the blue zones. No. One is the importance of having a purpose in life. This was the wisdom of the I Ching I shared earlier from the people of Okinawa. And this is really about defining your values and living according to them, finding your passion and pursuing it, and contributing to something larger than yourself, like a cause or a community. Next, we have the power of community and social connections. This is something that all 5 blue zones have in common. People in these areas have strong social connections with family, friends, and their community, and they know that they can rely on each other for help and support when they need it. This sense of belonging and purpose gives them a reason to get up in the morning and face whatever challenges they may encounter. No. 3. It's the importance of a healthy diet. In all 5 blue zones have diets that are high in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes, and low in red meat and processed foods. And these diets provide the people with the nutrients they need to live long and healthy lives. No. 4 is the importance of regular physical activity. People in blue zones are physically active on a regular basis because they do a lot of gardening and other physically active pursuits. This helps them maintain their strength and mobility as they age. No. 5 is the importance of stress management. People in blue zones have a strong sense of spirituality, and they know how to find peace in the present moment. They practice deep breathing exercises, yoga, meditation, or other forms of mindfulness, and this helps them cope with stress and live longer. No. 6 is the importance of lifelong learning. People in blue zones are curious, and they love to learn new things. They take classes, read books, and travel to new places. And this keeps their minds sharp and engaged, which is really important for longevity. No. 7 is the importance of downsizing. People in blue zones do accumulate a lot of stuff, and they do worry about what other people think of them. They focus on what's really important in life, like family, friends, and community. And this freedom from material possessions and social pressure allows them to live more simply and authentically. And number 8 is the importance of having a positive attitude. People in blue zones are optimistic and they believe that they can control their own destiny. They have a sense of humor and they know how to laugh at themselves. This positive attitude helps them overcome adversity and live longer. So there you have it, the secrets of the blue zones. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned something new. If you did, please consider subscribing and sharing it with your friends. Until next time, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.